What is up, gentlemen? I hope you're all having a lovely day and a lovely, hopefully have had a lovely Thanksgiving, a lovely Black Friday. I will tell you, I'm not big on Black Friday. The only thing I do to celebrate Black Friday is listen to Friday by Rebecca Black. Only thing. Other than that, I did go ahead and renew my membership for a year at the gym. But that dude, man, you guys, I don't know if you could see that. That is, man. That dude had, that was not planned. Okay, I don't know if you guys just saw that, but that man was Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus on a motorcycle that was also a house with a chimney or something like that. Anyway, that was really cool. I'm glad I got to see that today. But forget it. You know, this is real life. I record videos during my real life, and real life stuff happens like that, and it is wonderful. Real life is wonderful, and Santa Claus on a motorcycle is wonderful, apparently. But let's so let's get straight to talking about, you know, more consequential, productive stuff. Okay. I'm going to address a few arguments that I have seen made and that people have tried to make towards me. Arguments that are used in favor of pornography, particularly from a Christian perspective. Since that's my perspective, that is the perspective that I am in general most sympathetic to. There are, of course, lots of research-based grounds for quitting pornography. There's a lot of anecdotes, you know, people's individual experiences that lend support to the idea that pornography is nasty and evil and degenerate. But ultimately, where I'm grounded, where the core of my belief is in my faith, which is Christianity. And so, I will be addressing those first. One that I see fairly frequently, is the idea that pornography is, you know, a necessary evil for Christian men, and that without pornography, then they would be so much more tempted to go out and commit adultery, or to just have, you know, otherwise have sex outside of marriage or something like that, or any number of sexual sins. And that pornography is, you know, something that helps to tame that, helps to mitigate that risk and reduce those kinds of temptations. Okay. My response is that the solution to sin is never more sin. The solution to a bad thing is never just doing a different bad thing, okay? And in particular, you know, I'm not going to get into the trolley problem or anything like that, but I'll make it even more specific. The solution, the answer to a proactive sin, in other words, something that you have to do, like some kind of sexual sin or watching pornography or something like that, is the solution is never another proactive sin, okay? When you have the option to just not do the bad thing at all, which you do have the option to do, you have the ability to refuse to do anything like that at all. When you have that option, then the solution is never another sin. Now, of course, like, you know, the trolley problem or whatever, people will try to conflate this with situations to which it is not comparable, all right? So this isn't like the trolley problem where you have to choose between, you know, there's 5 people on one track, there's 1 person on another track, there's a train headed towards the 5 people on the one track. You can redirect it to the 1 person on the track, and so, you know, you might make the argument that, well, the best option might be to kill 1 person, which is a bad thing, by redirecting the track towards them, because that saves 5 of their lives, and because you don't have the option to just stop the train, okay? I hope I explained that well enough for those who aren't familiar with it. If you are familiar with it, you already know what I'm talking about. But, you know, this isn't anything like that, okay? This isn't a situation like that. This isn't where you have to choose between committing adultery or watching pornography. That's not how it works, okay? You have a number of choices. You can choose to, you know, go have sex with some bimbo, commit adultery, or to watch pornography, or guess what? You can choose to just not do any of the above. choose to go work out. You can choose to go read a book. You can choose to go write a book. You can choose to go any number of things. Go to church or something, I don't know. But watch my videos, put something good in your head. But this isn't a situation where you have to choose between different degrees of evil or something like that. All right? Terrible argument, just completely misses the point. If you need to get out energy, exercise is free. Exercise is free, okay? Even if you don't have equipment, even if you don't have a gym membership or something like that, there are plenty of body weight routines and programs. There's plenty of cardio you can do. Wear yourself out, all right? So, that covers that side of it. The other argument that I see is that, Jesus didn't really mean that kind of lust, If we look at the original language and so on, then we see that what this actually refers to a very specific situation. But the only thing that Jesus is really talking about is making a plan with the intent, or holding the intent to carry out an act of adultery. In other words, to they say that the word used for a woman here really just refers to wife. So the only thing that he's referring to is having the intent in your mind, in your heart, to carry out an act of adultery with another man's wife. And that's the only situation it applies to. And that, watching porn or whatever, or anything like that, is, that doesn't count. That doesn't fall under that. Or lusting after a woman who isn't married is okay. And that doesn't count because the original, because the words used in the original text, specifically refer to these other things. Okay? That doesn't hold water either, to me. Because what was Jesus talking about before that? Let's actually take this thing that he's saying. Let's take it in the context that it was originally presented in. So what is he talking about right before that? He's talking about hating your brother, okay? He's talking about how if you hate your brother, you're on par with having murdered him. Hate is equating this hatred in your heart. It's equating this attitude of your heart with the ultimate expression of that attitude. Hate is compared with murder, the ultimate expression of hatred. In that context, it seems like he's saying that, this isn't just about specific acts or anything like that. It's about the attitude of your heart, the sinful attitude of your mind, or of, just that's it, the sinful attitude of your mind, okay? And so trying to narrow down this one thing. So first he's talking about how hating your brother is comparable to murder. And then all of a sudden, next, he's talking about how lust is comparable to adultery. But, it only stretches that far if the woman happens to already be married. So, lusting after a married woman, that's adultery. But lusting after an unmarried woman, or, watching porn or something like that, well, that's nothing. That's somehow that is the right attitude of your heart. Having an attitude that is, the Bible talks about fornication. Fornication is a sin. Having sex outside of marriage is a sin, even if neither of you are married, even if it's not adultery. So I think that, I don't think that he was trying to be that specific and lay out, two very specific new rules or anything like that about hating your brother or about lusting after a married woman. I think that it is the intent there. The point that he's making suggests that lusting after an unmarried woman would be fornication in your heart. Even if it's not adultery, even if she's not married, even if you're not married, it's still fornication in the heart. You're lusting about another woman, you're fantasizing about her or something like that. And in any case, you are admitting sexual immorality into your heart, into your mind. Okay, let's take pornography for a second here. Okay, even if, you know, let's break it down real logically here, because I like to do that. You know, I have fun with that. Okay, so let's take two possible scenarios. Pornography. Let's say a specific pornographic video. Okay, it's either, well, it could be animated, which is just perverse in its own many ways, but let's just say it's, you know, pornography between two real people. All right, two or more, even, who cares? But let's say that it is a married couple. Okay, so that what they're doing, you know, them having sex together, there's nothing wrong with it because they're married, they're monogamous, they're committed to each other. Okay, well, then if you're lusting in that case, then that does absolutely fall under what Jesus was saying about lusting after another woman. All right, in the sense of woman being wife. Okay, so that's out. Can't do that. Let's say they're not married. Okay, well, in that case, they're sinning. And in that case, you are, if you're enjoying that and lusting after it, then you are delighting in their sin. Okay, and in that case, it's out. You shouldn't be delighting in evil like that. You shouldn't be, you know, condoning that by willfully watching it and enjoying it and jerking off to it and so on and so forth. So in neither case there is this a good thing. You know, we see how messed up this is. So on two fronts there, you know, just from both fronts there. In one case, looking at it within the context of the whole, I guess you could call it a sermon that Jesus is teaching. I think it actually, was that part of the Sermon on the Mount? I can't remember. But in any case, we look at it in the context, we see that's not the point he's getting at, you know? Not at all. And then if we logically follow it to its conclusion, we see that even then, even if he was being that specific, there's still no situation in which it's okay. So, yeah, there you go. There's two arguments that I see frequently, and I spent longer on this video than I intended to, but that'll happen. Yeah, that's it, you know? Don't try to weasel your way out of this. Don't try to rationalize it or whatever, okay? It is what it is. Pornography is degenerate. It is sinful. It is evil. It's wicked. Shouldn't exist in the first place. And you certainly shouldn't be watching it. Especially if you're a Christian. Especially if you take, you know, especially if the Bible is your authority. Especially if you believe it. And you think that this is the guideline for you to live your life by. If you say that you follow the teachings of Jesus, then it can't be a part of your life. You can't allow it to be a part of your life. All right? That's it. No justifications. All right? Except the blood of Christ. That justifies us. But it doesn't justify continuing those actions. All right? So, that's it. Y'all have a good day. God bless you guys. Take it easy, but not too easy. I love you all. I don't say this to condemn anyone or anything like that. I don't want people to just feel, you know, really guilty or guilt people into doing this. I want you to change your life for your own good and for the glory of God, of course. But, you know, I don't hate the people who make these arguments. I just think that they're misled, and I want to correct that. So that's all this is, you know. I'm not hating on anybody. I'm not fighting with anybody. Only one I'm fighting with here is the devil. So there you go. That's it. Y'all have a good day. God bless you guys. Take it easy, but not too easy. And I will talk to you later.